Dear friends, from last couple of lectures we are dealing with UV visible spectroscopy. Earlier we have seen introductory part, then Beer-Lambert's law, different types of excitations and modes of electronic transitions. In today's lecture we are going to see some fundamental concepts, some fundamental terms used in UV visible spectroscopy. These terms include chromophore, auxochro, various types of shifts observed in UV visible spectroscopy, that is bathochromic shift, hypsochromic shift, hyperchromic shift and hypochromic shift. Generally the question is asked, explain the terms with suitable example. So these are the fundamental terms used in UV visible spectroscopy, and one has to learn these carefully because the explanation related to UV visible spectroscopy is related to these various fundamental terms. The first term is chromophore. It is the word which has two parts. One is chroma, means color, phore means bearer. So color bearing is the phenomenon. So a chromophore is defined as any isolated covalently bonded group that shows a characteristic absorption of electromagnetic radiation in the UV or visible region. So what is the property? The property is isolated covalently bonded group that shows absorption in UV visible region. As I mentioned, the word is composed of chroma, that is color, and phores means bearer. Compounds containing chromophores are called as chromogen. So these are some common chromogens: C double bond C, C double bond O, NO2, etc. In dyes also the same term is used. In dyes, chromophore, it is the part of molecule responsible for imparting color. It is the part of the molecule which is responsible for imparting color, or it is the functional group containing multiple bonds capable of absorbing radiations above 200 nanometers due to N to pi star and pi to pi star transitions. In earlier lecture we have seen the modes of excitations. In these different modes there are sigma to sigma star, pi to pi star, N to pi star, N to sigma star transitions. So out of these, N to pi star and pi to pi star transitions are observed in case of chromophore. This is a list of various chromophores: nitro, nitroso, carbonyl, cyanide, C triple bond N, C triple bond C, C triple bond S, etc. Okay. So this is again another table in which various chromophores are given. These chromophores show various excitations based upon their structure. That is, if multiple bonds are there, then there are pi to pi star transitions. If along with multiple bond heteroatom is there, then these compounds show N to pi star and pi to pi star transitions. So this list explains various chromophores, their lambda max values and intensity of absorption in proper solvent. So whenever you will be asked, you must be able to define chromophore and give suitable example. These are the examples given in the table. Chromophores can be grouped into two types. Number one, olefinic bond is present in between two carbon atoms. They contain obviously sigma and pi electrons. So sigma and pi electron containing compounds, they show prominently pi to pi star transitions. These are somewhat high energy transitions. The second type of chromophore involves olefinic bond and one heteroatom. They show both the transitions, that is N to pi star transition and pi to pi star transitions. So N to pi star transitions are low energy transitions as non-bonded electrons are loosely bound. Hence, unsaturated compounds containing heteroatoms are potential chromophores. So whenever you will be comparing unsaturated compounds and unsaturated compounds containing heteroatoms, the unsaturated compounds with heteroatoms are potential chromophores. This is because the transitions are that way low energy transitions. This is a list of various transitions possible. If it is alkene type compound, then pi to pi star transition. In case of carbonyls, it is N to pi star. In case of azo, it is N to pi star. In case of nitroso, it is N to pi star. In case of nitro, it is N to pi star. And in case of nitrate, it is again N to pi star. These indicate different values. The second term used in case of UV spectroscopy is auxochrome, which is auxiliary chromophore. An auxochrome is an atom or functional group having non-bonded electrons that do not absorb radiations in near UV region, but when attached to a chromophore alters the wavelength and intensity of absorption. So the common auxochromes are OR, SH, halogens, amine, primary, secondary or tertiary amines, etc. So this is an example of chromophore and auxochrome. You have a benzene molecule. It shows absorption around 255 nanometers. When it is having substituent OH and it becomes phenol, so phenol shows absorption at 270 nanometers, and when one hydrogen is replaced by NH2, it becomes aniline, which shows absorption at 280 nanometers. Means there is a change in absorption, there is a change in lambda max, there is change in intensity also. So this shifting is because of the presence of the groups OH and NH2. So when we consider these changes, there are shifting or changes in absorption intensity and absorption wavelengths. So these can be studied with the help of different 4 shifts. These are bathochromic shift, which is called as red shift, hypsochromic shift, which is called as blue shift, hyperchromic shift and hypochromic shift. So again you will be asked to explain these terms. So explain what is chromophore, explain what is auxochrome, and these different types of shifts. So we will see one by one. In case of bathochromic shift, or which is called as red shift, when absorption maxima, that is lambda max, of a compound shifts to longer wavelength, it is known as bathochromic shift or red shift. In short, bathochromic shift is shifting to longer wavelength. It is also called as red shift. In case of multiple choice questions or objective type questions, you will be asked these things. The effect is due to presence of several reasons. In this case, the effect is due to presence of an auxochrome or by change of the solvent. An auxochrome group like OH, OCH3 causes absorption of compound at longer wavelength. Ethylene shows absorption maxima at 170 nanometer, whereas 1,3-butadiene shows lambda max at 217 nanometers. Here the shifting is due to conjugation. So the shift is bathochromic shift, but the shift is because of conjugation. Phenol shows lambda max at 270 nanometers, but phenoxyl ion shows lambda max at 287 nanometers. This is because of resonance stabilization. Let us see one more example. In alkaline solution, paranitrophenol shows red shift because negatively charged oxygen delocalizes more effectively than the unshared pair of electrons. So paranitrophenol lambda max is 255 and its phenoxide ion is having lambda max 265. That is, there is a shift to longer wavelength. Hypsochromic shift is the next term, which is also called as blue shift. When absorption maxima of a compound is shifted to shorter wavelength, it is known as hypsochromic shift or blue shift. So bathochromic shift is shifting to longer wavelength, red shift. Hypsochromic shift is shifting to shorter wavelength and blue shift. The effect is due to presence of a group that causes removal of conjugation or by change of solvent. Next term is next example is hypsochromic shift. Example of hypsochromic shift. Aniline shows blue shift in acidic medium because it loses conjugation. Aniline has lambda max 280 nanometers and aniline hydrochloride shows lambda max at 265 nanometers. So there is shifting to shorter wavelength, which is a blue shift. Let us have one more example. In this case, acetaldehyde shows lambda max 293, CH3CHO. CH3COCl acetyl chloride shows lambda max 235 nanometers. Acetamide shows lambda max 214 nanometer and acetic acid shows lambda max 204 nanometers. Here there is a replacement by, in one case it is oxygen, in other case it is chlorine, in third case it is NH2 group, and in last case it is OH. So this shifting is due to presence of different chromophores, and this is a series of blue shift. Okay. Next, the shifting to longer and shorter wavelength we have seen. Now there is change in intensity also. In some cases there is increase in intensity, in some cases there is decrease in intensity of absorption. The one concept which is called as hyperchromic effect or hyperchromic shift is related to the intensity of absorption when it is increases. When absorption intensity epsilon of a compound is increased, it is known as hyperchromic. Hyper means higher side, chromic means intensity, relative intensity, hyperchromic shift. If oxochrome introduces to the group, then the intensity of absorption increases. In case of pyridine, the lambda max is 257 and Emax is 2750. When a methyl group is substituted in pyridine, it becomes 2-methyl pyridine. Lambda max is around the same, 260 nanometers, but the intensity is 3560. Okay, so there is increase in intensity. Such a increase is called as hyperchromic shift, and it is hyperchromic effect. Next is hypochromic. Hypo is lowering. When absorption intensity of a compound is decreased, it is known as hypochromic shift. In case of naphthalene, we see the value is 19,000, and in case of methyl derivative 2-methyl naphthalene, it is 10,250, 10,250. So there is decrease in intensity of absorption, decrease in Emax value, so it is called as hypochromic shift. So what is the reason behind studying these various concepts? Certain compounds do not absorb in UV region properly, their structure cannot be explained properly. So for isolated chromophore groups like carbon double bond carbon, absorption takes place at far UV, which cannot be easily studied, but the position and intensity can be modified and studied by considering these concepts. So increase in intensity, decrease in intensity, shifting to longer wavelength, shifting to shorter wavelength, these explain the behavior, and by considering these various properties, the structural explanation or structural analysis can be carried out by using these fundamental concepts. This slide explains all these effects in short. There is a red shift to longer wavelength, there is blue shift to shorter wavelength, there is increase in intensity, hyperchromic shift, there is decrease in intensity, hypochromic shift. So these terms you have to learn carefully, and you must be able to explain and define them and give suitable examples. So friends, once again I will revise in brief in few words. So there is a shifting of absorption and there is a change in intensities. Shifting of absorption to longer wavelength is called as bathochromic shift. Shifting of absorption to shorter wavelength is called as hypsochromic shift. Increase in intensity is called as hyperchromic shift, and decrease in intensity is called as hypochromic shift. So you learn these carefully, try to write down, and you must be able to define these terms with suitable examples. So with this we'll stop here, which is a lecture related to some fundamental terms in UV visible spectroscopy. So from next lecture we will start with some calculations related to structural elucidation. Thank you.